Hey, Solace, Agent Solo, Matt Rice here. Going to run through something a bit different. It's no real specific game I'm going to show off. I just want to run through my most anticipated crowdfunding games that are to be delivered, hopefully, this year. So I'm going to run through my top 20. I've included expansions and base games and with a solo slant. So either fully solo or solo or able type games. So I hope you enjoy, guys. I've done like a little bit of a ranking with them, but I've pledged for all of them. So something about each game I really want to try or use. So I've done 20 of these using the Pub Meeple ranking engine for those that want to do their own rankings. Has the BGG database there. Pretty and there we have. So my number 20 is Dog Park New Tricks expansion. So I've got the original Dog Park and I don't mind. It's quite a nice little casual game. It's kind of like think Wingspan, but probably more streamlined and a bit less tactics involved with it, and a bit more of a lend towards the casual gamer. And I've decided to go for the expansion just to see what more it adds. Um, as you can see, the artwork's quite beautiful. I really enjoy it. I've got myself got a cavoodle that I've shown off in my videos in the past that doesn't quite look like this guy, but has more straight hair and blend in color. But the new tricks, it says it down here somewhere. What it adds, here we go. So for those that have played Dog Park, even if you haven't, think of Wingspan where you play dogs in your kennel. They cost a certain amount of treats and toys and certain things that you use to walk them around, and you walk around a board. This is adding more dog cards to it, so more variety, which would be great. I felt in the original that most of the cards had very similar. There's a lot that had very similar abilities, so I didn't quite get the same as the Wingspan for me. But you get a new trick board, 20 trick cards. So this must be a new thing doing tricks. That wasn't in the original. I think now it covers 5 players for those interested in that. New location tiles that you place onto your location board. Objective cards, more objectives, which would be great for solo. Yeah. So that's my number 20 coming later this year. For those that want to see more about actual Dog Park, I've done a playthrough of Dog Park, so feel free to have a look at that. So my number 19 is Darkest Doom. Coming out hopefully this year as well. I haven't heard much about this one since the last update was December, but this game I didn't pledge for everything. That's why I think it's lower on my list. But I'm still anticipating. It still looks kind of cool. And just looking back, it's just interesting coming back to some of these pages and seeing how the campaign ended up. And this one loves to show you the components that I've unlocked, and it's not my thing when campaigns do that. Just show you half a page or more of this is what's included. I want to actually see the gameplay, but maybe that's just me. I don't want to look how far I'm scrolling here. Where's the actual gameplay? Oh my god, I'm probably going too fast for you guys to really have a look. Because some of you guys probably do love looking at these components, which I can understand. But plenty of components. I didn't go for everything. I can't remember which kind of pledge I did here. It might have been one of these early bird ones, maybe the €139 one I did. I think that's the one actually. I didn't go for the full-on add-ons. So I was a bit unsure how solo will go with this. It looked like it was more catering towards, oh, here we go. Yeah, it's two-thirds of the page way down. So game height. So yeah, open world. And there's like these temples on the map it's kind of somewhat pandemic style where you're putting these things on, I think. So Fresh Explore. Hello, we said us to win back their favor. So you got to try and win their favor through quests, I think, doing quests around the board. Not quite clear how it works. There's the character board. Parts of it look cool. And that's how I felt when I was trying to follow this campaign. I didn't quite get how this works solo. But something about it in the Bot Guardians mode for solo games, yeah. But something about it said, look, they were trying to cater for it. And they'll try and show off its somewhat interesting take on it's like what's that word? It's like the animal humans anthropomorphic or something like that. I feel like probably totally wrong. Drawings of the minis. But yeah, there's like plenty of minis in this one. Plenty of people have done playthroughs, like Rado Shay from Rado has done it. It looked kind of cool. I'm not sure what else I could say about that because I haven't been following it as much. That's why it's lower on my list. But there you have it, guys. That's number 19, Darkest Doom. Hopefully that comes out this year. We can give that a play. It's more like an RPG type game. Yeah. Number 18, Puzzle Dungeon. I'm sure some of you guys and girls have played this before. This is a reprint that was done early last year, early 2023. And I'm looking forward to playing this. It's a solitaire only game. Think of those that have played, remember back in the day, if you're a bit old like me or even older, the Free Cell game on the Microsoft Windows computers. You can play. It kind of reminds me of that, where you set your cards. Set up your cards like that. But then you have like a hero and you have a hand of cards, like the 52 deck of cards. And using that and your special ability powers, you've got to try and get through the deck of Free Cell cards here. And it's pretty much like a puzzle. You can solve it. It's quite quick. And each character has totally different abilities. I'm not sure if you can see them on the screen here, but I think I just pledged the base deck here because I'm unsure how much I would crack this game open, but it looks kind of cool for like a little travel game that I could really use. And it wasn't 2D at all. I think you can get these through his Etsy as well. You can try and source that yourself if you wish to. But yeah, it's like not too bad artwork. Very friendly with the customers. Very friendly with the people that try to back this. You could even back at a level where you can suggest a hero and things like that. It's pretty cool. I like that kind of engagement in a campaign. So I remember during the campaign, this was pretty fun. Hungry Gamer's done a review of this one. But yeah, that's my number 18 for this year is Puzzle Dungeon. Number 17, Solace, is under the banner of more Terraforming Mars, is the Automa and Prelude 2 coming out for the original Terraforming Mars game. I've still got that, and I have Terraforming Mars and Prelude in terms of the original base set, and I enjoyed that. It was just, something about it maybe makes it hard to get back out. I felt there were certain cards that just you couldn't really use well in solos, particularly like microbes, the animal cards that weren't as handy because they're more for victory points where you were just trying to terraform Mars as a solo player. This Automa hopefully mimics that extra player or two. I think you could mimic it as 2 players. And another Prelude would be great. I thought Prelude was a good expansion that changed up how you start and where you go from there. I think along with this, there's a lot of promos and different maps that you can buy, neoprene mats. So it was a really successful campaign. So I'll be surprised if a lot of you guys are looking forward to this as well. I'm hoping it comes out this year. It does say July 2024, but with Kickstarter, generally it's 6 months plus you add on top. So it could be more and start of 2025, but we'll see. That's a pretty popular game, so they might be, and they're used to making games, so it might be on top of it. Some more cards for Prelude. So I'm not sure if there's much changes there, really. I don't think so. Was this more milestones or something? The solo expansion is more what I'm looking forward to see how this really runs. There's like a tracker for the bot. You can even play it with the Venus Next and Colonies expansions. I'm not sure about the next expansion for that. I can't remember what it's called. Turmoil, I think that was the one. So yeah, looking forward to it. Looks kind of cool. In terms of just what the look of the components look like. I don't know. This card layout's a bit interesting. I just wonder how it plays, whether you just turn a card over and it does certain things. I just wonder how that interaction will really be, whether it's going to be really much like another player or not. Because I have played Terraforming Mars a couple of times 2-player. I never played more than 2-player. And I felt it was better in that mode than solo. While with the dice game that I played recently, I felt solo was better. But yeah, I might stop it there. There's plenty of unlocks. It did very well, so there's plenty of stuff that comes with it. So I'm looking forward to Terraforming Mars, my number 17. Look forward to this year in 2024. Number 16, Solace, is ISS Vanguard. I was very tempted to take this out of my list because I must be one of the last people to receive this in Australia. Apparently I'm on wave 2. I don't know how that happened. There must have been a pledge where you pay for it early to get your wave 1. This game has a split opinion, I think. When I've read the reviews about it, some people really love it, and some people are just like, after a couple of players, I'm not too keen on it. So I'll be really anticipating this in terms of how I feel about this sort of game. I didn't go for the all-in stuff. I didn't get the minis. I just got the core standard pledge, and I think the personnel files with the stretch goals. For those that haven't played it before, has like two phases to the game. There's like the ship management phase where, I mean, it's really hard to see here. Ship management phase where you look after your characters, you look after your ship and you make choices on how you upgrade your ship. And then there's also the planet phase where you choose a planet to land on and it's like an overland exploring on a book of the planet. And it's like a dice mitigation type gameplay. We have a certain amount of dice to use to roll and to try and complete things on a planet and try and complete certain objectives. And it's kind of RPGs, I guess, which did really well at the time. As you can see up here, like almost 12 million, I assume it's US dollars. So very well done. So I'm looking forward to this. I want to see what the fuss is all about. I really hope it's still coming for me. I might have to chase it up and ask someone where it is at. I think I went with Core Pledge. You can get like this. Is it the Deadly Frontier? I didn't get that. I got the personnel files and just the Core Pledge. I think I got those two. And probably because I was more than Core Pledge, I got looped into the Wave 2, which hopefully everyone gets very soon. Been a while. But yeah, look forward to it. Kind of unique. Looks kind of unique. Looks kind of cool. There you have it, guys. It's my 16 for this year. Number 15 is Robomon. Now, there is also an asterisk with this one. It's still in the late pledge phase. It's been in that phase for a long time. I'm not sure where this one's up. I haven't really been chasing this one up. Did all right. I thought we did do more, to be honest. It looks quite cool. Done like in a storybook kind of way where it's like the Pokemon Digimon type background with dice combat and card collection of the different type of Robomon. And you go through this journal book and you go to certain areas in the book to see what would happen. So I think it's kind of choose your own adventure with the Pokemon battles of dice battles. I thought it looked pretty cool. A few different characters you can select. It's solo friendly. You can play one character. You can play more than one character, I think, as well. And I liked how it looked and what the gameplay is going to offer. Like a little nice casual sit down, plenty of gameplay, of course, but sit down and build your team sort of type game. And this looked kind of cool. I was surprised it didn't do as well as it did. Maybe that's why it's still in late pledge mode. I'm not sure. But it's I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm hoping it delivers this year, but I'm probably way too hopeful on that. A lot of the usual reviewers, once I've co-op shop and so they're both great. Have reviewed this one. Ryder's got his rule from Ryder, had his hands on it as well. And I think I went for pretty much everything on this one, except for the tournament, maybe. I don't think I had that one, I can't remember. But anyway, that's my number 15 I'm looking forward to. Hopefully that one comes out later this year. All right, Soloists, my number 14 is Roan Invasion. This game's kind of like a dice, I guess you call it a dice builder. It's like you change the faces, you put pegs in the dice and a bit of a deck builder at the same time. So deck and dice builder with a character. I think you play just one character, or you play two. And there is solo mode in this one. Looks kind of different, like very unique. And it did fairly well. So €1,000, I think is quite good. For 760 backers for someone that I hadn't known of before, coming from Czech Republic. But I'm happy to give this one a go. It looks awesome. Like if I scroll down a bit more, I'm not sure we can see it down here somewhere. It talks about the components. There's a different type of peg. So you play cards to get certain pegs to then put in your dice, and then when you roll the dice, it gives you certain resources. So you have to like blue, green, yellow, black, red, etc. resources to help you pay for some of the cards that give you different abilities. And I thought that was really cool. I wonder how these little screws or pegs, we can call them, really come out when they're created. I hope they're manufactured quite well and placed well. It kind of reminds me of like Dice Realms, where you change the faces of your dice, and I really like that. That's been something I've been thinking about myself if I've ever designed something. I think I'm just too lazy to design something. But it's kind of cool. It has a bit of a theme background, which I think they've made another game before. Based in this universe, but not in this kind of not this type of game, but the same universe, a different type of game. Yeah, it's showing you a bit of a graphic here of how it kind of runs, and you put and some of these colors can set off abilities on your board as well. Cool, that's pretty good. Some people have already had an ability to play through some of this stuff. I don't know who that is. JGP, never heard of them. Learn to play. But So yeah, that's my number 14. I look forward to that. It's gonna be something unique, I think, and hopefully the solo mode is really good to keep me into it. So that's number 14, Roman Invasion. Okay, so my number 13 is Dragon Eclipse by Awakened Realms. Very successful campaign this one was. This is a 1 to 2 player. Again, another like Pokemon-esque type game. So it's interesting. I've got a couple of Pokemon top games coming in. Maybe only one can live, but we'll see. Maybe, I think they've got their own niche. This one has two different options, like the minis and the non-minis. I went for the non-mini version, of course. If there's that option, I don't paint minis unless they come painted and it's not a bad price. I'll get them, but not too keen on it. But otherwise, standees and stuff are fine for me. This is meant to have like a rogue experience plus like a campaign adventure type experience, and you can also do 1 versus 1 for those that want to do that. And it's meant to it's promises like as if it's like a mini trading card game where you open up your own boosters within it. So as you unlock things, you open up boosters, and there was plenty of add-ons in this as well. And by add-ons, I mean I think it was stretch goals too, like just extra boxes. I hope it doesn't come with 1,000 boxes, but yeah, in the deluxe version, I think you get these like booster packs that you get to open, and they're all like randomized within. Even though each box I think contains the full set at the same amount, the same cards. I think the way it is, each booster is different depending on what any boxes. So, kind of cool. Pretty cheap. I guess you can't call it cheap, but cheaper than a lot of other games that you can play for, especially for the standard edition. I couldn't say no. I wasn't sure about it, but I thought for that price, you got me hooked. Awakened Realms, you done well. And yeah, I look forward to it. There's a few different options you can choose here. Heaps of different add-ons. You can add to it if you're an early bird. Otherwise, you get this one. There's different type of alternative cards. You can bling it up at heaps if you wanted to. So it's got a few different modes to it. I'll be curious. Shay does a run through. Alex, he's got his hands on it before too. Plenty of people have seen this one. And Awakened Realms is very popular these days. Yeah, and for those that love minis, I'm sure the minis will be great quality. So, Dragon Eclipse, my number 13. Alrighty, Soloists, my number 12 is Gloom Haven, the Buttons and Bugs, the tiny solo version that they came out with, I think it was last year, or maybe the end of the previous year, the crowdfunding campaign. Looking forward to this one. Gloom Haven for me didn't. I've gone through. It's a big story with Gloom Haven for me, but I've done the original box from the original Kickstarter that came in. Loved how it looked and everything. I played about 3 scenarios. Repeated the first one a few times to get my head around it, and I thought about it. It's like this is not for me. It's just so much setup. And then I got Gloom Haven Joys of the Lion because I thought maybe if it's only 20 something scenarios, I might get through it all, and I didn't. I got about I think about 7 or 8 scenarios in, and I was like, oh, I need to play something else. And I guess that's what I'm like. Some people are different like that. I may come back to it, but then I've probably forgotten who was what. Blah, blah. Anyway, Gloom Haven Button and Bugs. This is my 3rd try at Gloom Haven. Apparently, it's taking the Gloom Holden stuff inspiration to try and fit this in a small box. It's only $15 US, almost 15,000 backers, 14 and a bit thousand backers. Really did really well. Solo only, 20 minutes per scenario. It's promising. So, and if it's a quick setup, I was in. Yeah, I think you still get minis for the characters. It looks like there's cards to set the scenario. The cards have been like shortened down, less stuff on here, and you can like sort of move things around. I think the actions of the evil guys, you kind of know what's coming up, so I think you cover it. But it's a little bit different to the original game. It's probably not going to be as tactical, but I'm sure there's enough tactics in there. Still some condition tokens. It's still essentially, I think, going to be Gloomhaven type die. Gloomhaven type. Someone look at the die here. A Gloomhaven type game. This die here, I don't remember though. So maybe there is a way to sort of modify using that unknown factor, which is what makes Gloomhaven pretty good, I guess, to the unknown factor of what the AI is going to do. Yeah, I look forward to this. This looks like it should be easy to travel with. Looking like this, it looks kind of cool. Like uses the cubes represent where the enemies are going and things like that. So obviously it won't look as great as the other versions, but I don't mind that. This will be fantastic. If any of the Gloomhavens would work, hopefully this one does for me. That's my number 12, Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs. Solace. All right, my number 11, rounding out the lower 10, is Heroes of the Shire by Senior Games. And as it promises here, a turn-based combat adventure RPG with a unique combat system. And there was 2 different versions you can get of this one. I ended up getting the collector's edition, which I took the plunge. I got both. You can get like fire and ice or earth and water, I think. And it's like standees. You go around an overland map. Where is it? I have to find it somewhere. That's the 2 different types you can get. Some of these campaigns are always different. There's the components you get. So it's like an overland map that you set out and you walk across with your heroes. I'm hoping solo mode you can play single hero, but imagine you're probably going to have to be playing 2 heroes. That's going to be hopefully not too problematic. I took the plunge here. It seems kind of cool fantasy game where you have tactics and you have, I think there's a bit of screenshot down below, but you have like all these different abilities that you have cooldowns. And use the abilities for the cooldown, and you put a die on the cooldown to indicate how much longer you got. There is some videos here done by Senior Games themselves. Yeah, true soul mode. So there was a true soul mode which I purchased on top. I hope I did. The add-ons here. There's some videos on this page to see how it works a bit. And there's like these little cooldowns that happen on your board. It seems interesting. It seems like something different, and there's heaps of different characters that they've created. And I was somewhat blown away by it just from the look of it and going, oh yeah, so here we go. Here's the defense and it's got like cooldowns on it, number on it. So you put like a die on it to represent the cooldown. You verse enemies. Here they are. Enemies have different stats and they have their own little cooldown abilities. I haven't seen enough of this, how this will properly work. There's like an upkeep phase in the combat system. Yeah, you turn your dice down for cooldowns. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I think you still roll. I can't remember. And this is gonna I should do more research before I do this stuff. Because it's been a while. This one's been around for a while. This was a couple of years ago. I think this came up on crowdfunding. I'm hoping it delivers this year. And there's boss battles at the end of it. I'll plan to show this one off once I do get it. So yeah, I'd be keen to see it. Hopefully it's one of those games where it's something I'll really get into. Hopefully it's not something that's just so convoluted to play solo that it's just something I want to get out again. Hoping good thoughts. Hopefully it's good. But yeah, that's my number 11, Heroes of the Shire. Well, number 10, Soloists. This is the top 10. Aberration gets up there. It hasn't been finished not too long ago, so this is more of a hope. I'm not sure if it's going to get done this year or not. Hoping so. And this is a tower defense board game, cooperative style. So I imagine you can play a couple of heroes solo. And for those that are really big fans of mine, would know that Planet Apocalypse is quite a good game for me personally, and I rate that's a tower defense type game as well. And this has those kind of vibes. Although the map I think stays the same in this, but the enemies change around. And they did 2 different versions. They did a minis version and a standee version. Of course, I've gone for the standee version, as you would know from now if you're watching this video. And it looks pretty cool. I've got to say, like it's like the artwork on it I'm pretty happy with. Of course, people that'll get minis, hopefully they're great. I believe Ghost Farm up in Australian company as well. So got to support the Australians, of course. Yeah, again, campaigns that show off all the components first before the actual game's like, I don't know what the deal is with that. I must be the only one that wants to see gameplay first before what's in the game. Well, that's okay, but it gives you an idea what's in it. Tells you how to set up the board here. This is your enemy. This is your hero. This is your different types of stats. I imagine what's that? Command, speed, strength, intellect. So I guess you can level them up, or maybe I don't know how it really works here. You got like cool little things on the board. 70 plus unique. Oh, so these different types of maps. It must just always be circular though, but maybe the different map pieces. They can move around. How's the gameplay? That's what you get. So that's cool. I do this too. What's the difference between standard and deluxe edition? Maybe there is no gameplay on this page. That's really strange. Oh, here we go. Wow, at the bottom. Put this at the top. So what do you get here? Different. Oh, yeah, and you can. Oh, okay. So you get a hero and like it's their trait, I guess, with it too. So it mixes them up. That's pretty cool too. That always makes bigger replayability when you're playing around with different characters. That's pretty cool. I assume there's different map setups. Transfer 70 unique map trails, supposedly. I like the graphics here too. So must be using certain abilities. It doesn't really explain how that works. It looks like it's a card play, doesn't it? Use your cards and then do damage or something. Then it looks like there's dice roll to see if there's any counter attacks. Did I see that right? Yeah, maybe something like that. Yeah, cool. And there's some gameplay here. I think that's Meg, what the name is. Normally works with Alex with things here. Dice Tower, I've done some stuff on it. So they've reached out to some previewers. I wish I could do previewing, but I guess I'm not famous enough. It looks pretty cool. I think this could be an underrated game. I'll look forward to seeing this coming out. I just paid for shipping recently, so hopefully we're almost there with it. The production probably is getting on the way. So there you have it, guys. Number 10, Aberration. Alrighty, Soloists. My number 9 is Four Horsemen. It's a co-op game, of course, solo ability. What does it say here? Prepare for the final stand against evil in this epic deck upgrading and resource management game for 1 to 4 legendary heroes. This is one of the rare sort of crowdfunding games that I've had the opportunity to play. I've played it on Tabletop Simulator. As I'm sure some of these other games have some version on there as well. And I actually quite enjoyed this. So technically, I've kind of played this in its pre-production format. And essentially what happens is you've got these, I've got to find a page for it. And for those that have played Deliverance, has that kind of theme of like the heaven and hell. And it's like Greek mythology. I think there's Chinese mythology and there's Norse mythology, I think, in some of the expansions add-ons. And it's like scenario based. It's like a scenario based. So this one says it has like 6 rounds to complete this one. And it's very much resource management type game. I'll find a right spot for you guys. A lot of people have done reviews already for it, which is pretty cool. I suppose I could have showed one when I did Tabletop Simulator, but I'm not really wanting to do ones on my computer. Where's the map laid out? Let's just go find that. Dual-laid sheets, yes, I know. Here's the map here, but it doesn't have the resources on it. But essentially, some of these events have resources to pay for. Some of these are like Wisdom, Zeal. I can't remember what they're all called. These are pictures for demons that come out on the world. So it's like a world map. It's kind of pandemic-like. As you go around a world map. Jeez, come on, where is it? Plenty of stuff here, but where is the actual gameplay? Maybe not. Oh my god. Need some more gameplay on that, I think. But perhaps like on, press play on this, it might show it. But that's the best it gets. Like these little cubes here, like your resources. You move your angels or your heroes around the world. Try to prevent demons accumulating. I think if you get to 10 demons, if I remember correctly, if you get to 10 demons in any spot around the world, it's all over. It's been corrupted. So you've got to prevent the demons coming out, but also try and stop the main boss with these event cards from completing its objective. It's kind of cool. But the resource management was really tight on the few games I played online with it. The deck building's okay. I like how you get to play, and it's a shame it doesn't show it. See here, this is like one of the cards, for example, that you have in your hand. It's a boon, a use, and a sacrifice. Sacrifice removes it from your whole deck, which is kind of cool. So it's like a deck builder and deck discarding sort of thing. Boon, you have 2, so you can draw a hand of 5 cards. 2 of them can be used for its boon effect, which is the minimal effect. 1 can be used for a use effect, which is medium, decent effect, but you still keep the card. And sacrifice is where you get rid of the card, but it's its best effect. I like that tactic decision of each card, which one should I sacrifice, which one should I get the boon for. And that was really cool, I thought. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the demons accumulating on a spot on the planet of the Earth. Bad things happen as they get further up. There's health, etc., things like that. And these are like the event cards here. As they go further down the rounds, you have to cover more things. So at round 2, 3 demons. So 6 demons are going to be split amongst 2 different areas. On the 3rd stage, the Horsemen of War will advance. And if they advance to the middle spot, the game's over, things like that. Sorry I don't have a spot to really show you the whole game. Well, there's the Horsemen up here. But yeah, look, I've probably talked enough about this one. It's probably a bit of a little known one, 536 backers. I thought it looked quite good. I think the artwork might turn off some people, and being I think they're a first-time production person. But I thought it looks kind of cool, and maybe the theme can turn off some people, religious type theme. But I'm looking forward to that one. That's my number 9, Four Horsemen. Okay, my number 8 most anticipated game, Soloists, is Thor Gale, the board game. To be honest, never heard of Thor Gale in the comics, but looks pretty cool when I look into this campaign. It sold me. Portal Games, I've got a couple of their games. Empires, Imperial Settlers of the North, Empires of the North. It's always hard to say that one. Imperial Settlers. I've also got 11, which I was quite impressed with for a soccer management type game. So I thought I'd give Thor Gale a go, and it's different. I think it tries to mash a few things there. If I show, there we go. So it has this thing where you have these action chips, and each time I think there's different types of actions you can take on this depending on the scenario and depending where you are in the book. That's another one of those games where I seem to like those sort of games where on the book you're playing the scenario. You're in the book and you're trying to achieve a certain objective, and you play these chips to get certain resources. But I think if it's to the right of it, you get everything else to the left. It was something like that. That rings a bell. Again, haven't done my research lately. And there's also another aspect of the game where there's this polyomino effect where you try to fill out your board. I can't remember how that really works. I think that might be a health actually. Something like that. It was really something really different. Really, that stood out for me. It's like, oh, I might try to give this one a go. It looks different. Yeah, there's this like polyomino thing trying to get through the quest here. And as you cover things, you gain things on certain parts. But if you cover a red, you then have to cover something on your board for wounds, stuff. I think something like that. I felt that looked unique to me. It's something I don't have in my collection, and that's why I've got this high on my anticipation. Is because it's just a little bit different. And just scrolling through here, I'm not sure it's going to give too much more away, but it talks about the comics and look at the cards. Talks about what's been added through the stretch goals, of course. What characters are in it. There's a little rondel thing here too. I don't know what that does. I mean, yeah. There's something about this game that this could be really good, like really crunchy, different, and makes me go, wow, I want to play it again. Or this could be something that just like this is weird and complicated and I want to play it again. I don't know. But I was happy to give it a go. It was kind of dear. I do feel the Portal games are kind of dear. But I was happy to give it a go. Yeah, I might stop there. So that's Thor Gale. That's my number 8 anticipated game for 2024. My number 7 is Dead Cells, the board game. One of many video game adaptations coming across the board gaming, and it's going to bring its roguelite elements with it, which I'll be really curious to see how that runs in the board game format. I'm sure there's been a couple of games that have tried that recently. I can't think off the top of my head right now, sorry, but I'm sure some people put in the comments other roguelike games that have already come out, and it is an interesting concept to put on a board game. I'll be curious how that plays out, whether it's better at the video game or the board game. Sometimes one works for the other. But I'm happy to give this one a go. Dead Cells is quite well known. As a caveat, I have not played the video game. I've played many rogue games. And I do like that concept, like Enter the Gungeon. Tiny Rogues have been playing recently. The Monster Slayers I love as a card game. But anyway, so Dead Cells. I felt this one looked quite cool. I know in that game, I've totally forgotten. That's the most famous one on the video game. Something about Spire, something or other. Oh my god, I'm gonna get murdered online for not knowing that. But I felt this one looked better as a board game format. The other one did come out as a board game crowdfunding. It was also expensive, and it just didn't quite look like it was paying off. Well, this one looks good. The way they've sorted out, like they've got the biome that you sort out, like it's got like the map layout, but then what you put down is different each time you play. I think you unlock biomes as you go around. You've got a deck of cards. I think if I scroll down further, it explains better how this game plays. Probably getting dizzy by watching me scroll down. Aha! So roguelike mechanics, building the biome. So yeah, different. So these are like as you're moving around, you've got to get to the concierge at the end. And at the end of each turn, you'll get some kind of reward, which is rogue in itself. Like it's a random reward, I'm assuming. You also can get some permanent upgrades. In each run you do, assuming that's what's going to happen, that you can upgrade your guy or girl better each time you go through. I'm probably not doing it justice enough. It's not really showing enough like how, how it really runs through. I hate it when campaigns don't do that. Here we go. So explore, go through, and then it hasn't revealed that's your rewards you can get. I think there's some backslashes there too, so you can get either or rewards. I think in solo mode you get like a solo mode if you want to play just one character. I think you get like also a sword companion to play with. Um, yeah, it's interesting. And then yeah, so I think where you play your cards, you read the rows of 1, 2, and 3. As it goes. So it's interesting how it's going to play out. But yeah, anyway, and then here's the solo mode here. Might spend a quick bit of time here. So you got the Serenade companion. So it's like so you play with the character and it gives you some extra bonuses or something when a certain card comes out. Yeah, kind of cool. I should be probably explaining more again. I need to do my research before I should do these videos. But Dead Cells, my number 7. Alrighty, guys, my number 6 for the year is Legacy of Thrax, which is meant to get a solo mode done by David Turksey. A lot of you guys probably know of him or played some of his variations of like Imperium classics or legends. He's done many other ones too, which I haven't played many of them, but you hear a lot of things about people loving his solo modes. This is an overland adventure type game. It's meant to be a mix of, I think it promises a mix of like Euro and American style games. Yeah, sandbox adventure game, and that really spells out to me because I love games like Runebound, Explore It, that sandbox adventure fantasy type game. Count me in. I had to back this one. Um, it says it's competitive, so my only drawbacks here, as I said here, it's competitive and it says semi-co-op. So I'm hoping the David Turksey mode can pull it out well for a solo player. I'm hoping it's going to be there when it comes in. Otherwise, this could drop dramatically down the list. But look, I'm looking forward to it. It looks, it's someone I've never heard of that's designing it. I'd love to see new people come onto the market, design games, and see how they do it. Talk to them about how they go about it, because that's where I'm at in my life too with board games. I would love to design one if I could. I just need the brains. But I just love playing them at this stage. This one looks cool. Like, there's just a lot going on with it. It's meant to be Euro and as I said, a Euro and Ameritrash style hybrid type game. So I'll be keen to look at how it really runs. The campaign page doesn't really say too much about how it works. I think I've watched a couple of videos back in the day about a couple of turns. And there's different characters you can choose. This one looks cool. I hope there's going to be more about this. I think for those that want to know, if I scroll right down for people that have played this, where are we? Yeah, here's the people here. So Dice Tower's played it. Hungry Gamers played it. He gets his hands on a lot of stuff. Jealous. Yeah, plenty of people have got their hands on it. I'm sure, hopefully there is like a solo one, but it doesn't look like it. But that's okay. Look, I'm sure the solo mode will be there by the time it delivers solo videos. Here we go. Not board gaming yet. So I think it's Mark Dainty that does that. Rolling Solo's done some. Wow, I didn't know he did that. Cool, I'll check that one out. So for those that were keen to check it out, use those video links for sure. I'm keen on this game. This game looks interesting. I remember what I was seeing for the campaign. It's up there for my anticipated games. For sure. So number 6, Legacy of Thrax. All right, so my number 5 anticipated game for the year is Set of Watch, Forsaken Isles, and the Doomed Run expansions for the Set of Watch system. For those that have been watching my channel, I have done some stuff on Set of Watch. It's one of my favorite games to get out and play, card and dice-driven type game. Pros of this, it's more of that. But the con is I'm a bit worried at the same time. This wasn't my number 1. Is it going to be too much Set of Watch? But I do look forward to the campaign version they're going to add to this, which I think is the Doomed Run version. Still plays 1 to 4 players. For those that don't know it, it's essentially you choose 4 characters, and it's kind of tower defensive. There's like 9 quests you go through, like 9 areas you go through, and you draw a certain amount of cards that it says for the location. You have ability cards that you can use, and you also roll dice for the characters. And yeah, the dice that you roll depends on the character you have. So some are D12, some are D6s. So this guy here would be, well, I think it's a D12 that guy's got. Sorceress is a D4, no, it's a D8. And you also have ability cards that you shuffle up. You put 3 on your board. Yeah, ability cards are your health. So as you get hit, you lose ability cards. So there's pros and cons with that system, but I really like it. The enemies come out, they've got their own little abilities. If they get first in the row of line, or if they're in a certain position, they'll get rid of your fire. And fire, you need to be able to see more monsters. It's a really good tactical game. I really love it. I recommend checking out some videos. I've done one, but it's one of my early day videos where it's probably not great. But Rolling Solo, I'm pretty sure it's done one. One Stop Culture's done one. And it's a great game. I can't recommend it enough, really. I really look forward to how the wherever it is here, it's not pictured here, but how the doomed run's going to work with the campaign. That's what I want to look at. So I think it's going to promise like how you can, if you lose a character, they're out, and you unlock characters as you go through, stuff like that. And Swords of the Coin added a really nice mechanic of gaining items, which I think fixed a few people's bugbear problems with the original. So yeah, and there's like a camp phase here. With when you roll dice, you have to choose a hero to stay on camp, and they can chop firewood. You can scout to see what enemies are coming out. You can heal people. You can see what the next location is. Pretty cool. I love this system. And Set a Watch for Second Isles is going to be my number 5 anticipated game for the year. Okay, so that's my number 4 is Encounters Shattered Wastes. It says here, cooperative board game about slaying monsters, slinging spells, and surviving magical corruption. And this game reminds me of like a JRPG, except just the combat format, the turn-based combat format. But it's more than that. There's a bit more to this that they've added. Say fight solo with friends, yeah. So you can definitely play solo, of course. And it's got the gameplay at the top, yay! And it says here, like you draft abilities for your character. So there's like a general set of like abilities for so the attacking, defense, magic, and alchemy, I guess that is. You draw those cards and you choose 3 that you're going to play with for that character for this boss, I guess. It's kind of like a boss battling JRPG game where you choose your tactical cards. Of course, each character is different. Choose 3 to keep. Enemy cards join the board. So there's enemy cards, and yeah, these are like I think they're meant to represent minions that come at you, and you can choose positions. You can choose front or back position, and certain abilities work better at back, certain abilities work better at forward, things like that. Looks like you still roll dice for certain things, and there's also a shattered form. So if you become too corrupted, you gain the back of the hero, which gives you different abilities. But I assume there's a downside to that, I guess. Perhaps you die quicker or something. I think you start losing health as you're corrupted. This looks like they've also added like a journey mode, which might be like a mini campaign or some things. Just looking through here, choose your build. So it looks like a kind of cool. It's probably like only light to midweight type game, but I like those type of games where you can get them out and play through a scenario, a boss battling scenario, easily in a certain small time frame. The different types of cards, different types of enemy strength cards. So I think you turn the enemy card over. You don't know what they do. You turn them over and they do certain things to you. You could also get acrylic standees in this campaign. I decided to get the standard standard set just in case. Acrylic would be cool, to be honest. Like, I don't know. It reminds me of like Uprising, where they had those acrylic standees, and they're so good. So I'm probably gonna be jealous of those that have the acrylic standees. But otherwise, yeah, I've got the rest of the game coming to me, and I really look forward to this. I think that kind of turn-based, gets my mind going. I like that sort of stuff, and there's plenty of other people that have reviewed this here too. So you got what's up, Kyle Shop done it. I think Mike did it. These guys, Middle University, I think they're Australian actually. Those guys, so they tend to get a lot of stuff. And Alex has done one. Yeah, so guys, that's up to here. Number 4, I think, Encounters Shattered Wastes. Top 3 time. Number 3 is Zarivia. You might see here it says reprint. Obviously, some people have this game already. There was a previous crowdfunding campaign, and what sold this for me was I think it was Kanji. Kanji did a solo playthrough, and it looked really cool. It looked like a mesh of Gloom of Killforth and Runebound. I guess 3rd edition. Doesn't matter, 2nd or 3rd edition. Looks like they've combined, had a baby, and Zarivia comes out. And it looks fantastic. The way he played it too looks so strategic, moving around the board. You have your own like little saga quest that you have to complete, which reminds me of Gloom of Killforth. think, and there's not much. It doesn't really explain too much here. It just shows you components of how the gameplay works. And I have to say, another con of this thing was this was expensive, and that's the most I've ever had to pay for shipping during that pledge manager. I think it was about $125 or something for shipping to Australia. That's Australian dollars, which is ridiculous. That's so much. And I didn't get everything either. I got maybe like half the stuff. I think I got Zerivia Quest, the core game, and a couple of little of the small boxes with it. Just get my feet in. But this is not available anywhere in retail in Australia. So this will serve me well. If it's not something I like, which I think it will be, if it's not something I like, I'm sure I can resell this quite well. It just looks cool. The theme really shows through. I think you go to certain areas and you draw cards, and like an enemy might come out, and you have a choice to make. You have like items that you upgrade. You have these. I can't remember how this works again. But please check out Kenji's solo playthroughs. He explains it really well. There's a lot to this game. I'm not gonna lie, but it's something about these pegs. If I remember, if you go over the threshold, something happens. I think like a corruption thing. I can't remember. But it looked like it was very strategic in how you move around. There's like dice, like symbol matching dice rolling type of the combat system, and it's based on what items you have. You roll those type of dice. And like enemies come out at certain locations, they need certain symbols to remove. It's not going to show it for me, is it? Not at all. But it just shows you a bunch of components. You don't have to trust me on this. I'm just going to have to plug someone else here to go watch for it. The scenario set up. Unboxing by King of Average. Kanji, that's the one. Kanji, Kanye. I think it's Kanji. Go watch that. He does spend a good hour explaining the setup and how the game works. That's why I'm not going to talk about it. That's why I'm sort of rushing in my mind's like going, this is how it kind of works. Blah. And I'm sorry if it doesn't give you a great picture of how this game works. But as I said, think Gloom of Killforth, think Runebound, combine them together. And it looks great. I'm a sucker for these overland exploration games. And like leveling up, like a light RPG, I guess you can think of it as. I love those type of games. I look for this Zerivia Quest as well, which is like like a 1 to 2 player version of the game, which maybe might be up an alley as well. But there you go, guys. I might stop on that one. So number 3, Zerivia, the board game. Okay, my number 2 is another video game adaptation to a board game, The Last Spell, the board game, which is a tower defense type board survival type game, a bit of rogue elements mixed in with it as well. I have, for this one though, as compared to Dead Cells, I have played a little bit of this as a video game, and I really enjoyed it. And I think this will actually work really well as a board game. I thought that when I played it as a video game, which is probably a bit coincidental. Promises solo mode. There is a solo mode through stretch goals in this, and they look really cool. It's like the pixel sort of elements. It's a bit strange how they've done like cardboard elements mixed in with the miniatures here, because I didn't do a standard version, I don't think, of this game. For the enemies, so oh well, I would have liked a standard version. And there's heaps of different characters with this one. It does say 2 to 4, which I mean, there's a solo mode coming. I think you could just play 2 characters on your own. And I'm just going to skip a bit because I've already pre-looked at this a bit, and there's a lot of stuff that they talk about components-wise that take more than half the page. I don't know why campaigns do this. If any people that run campaigns, please stop that. Please show the game first and then components. Anyway, mechanics overview. Oh my god, here it is. It's like 2/3 of the way down. So you got day and night. And essentially what happens is you flip these cards over and you see what enemies are coming out. Movement points indicate the number of spots a hero can move at each turn. So I guess you get movement points based on their character card or something like that. And during the night, you can optimize your attack actions to trigger the deadliest attacks to defeat as many enemies as possible. So if you have a hammer here, it's got 3 different types. There must be costings here. So assuming you only have a certain amount of action points, I'm assuming the orange is action point and the blue is maybe something else like a mana or something. To try and defeat these, so it's like kind of tower defense, you try and defeat them all. So it would require maybe mana points, which will allow your heroes to unleash powerful strikes. Yeah, when you finish attacking, the enemy's turn begins. They start moving towards you based on, I think they move like 1 or 2 faces forward, depending what they are. You can gain materials build defenses. I think it's just during the day. You get gold to construct certain things and upgrade your hero. Leveling up. I love all that kind of stuff. So, and there's even a rulebook there. Tabletop Simulator developer. I should do that actually. So yeah, this looks kind of cool. Rado's had a little go of it. Mark Street's had a little flick of it as well. Yeah, I mean that's going to be my number two. I really look forward to this. I think this was quite a good video game, and it's my number two because I thought in my head when I played a bit of this sometimes, like I think this would be a great board game whenever if it ever makes it. And within about 6 months of me saying that, it comes out. So awesome! I look forward to this one. It's my number two, The Last Spell, the board game. Here it is, the number one anticipated game for me for this year, board game wise, is Heroes 3 Might and Magic, the board game. Again, there's a certain theme here. I think there's 3 of them now in my set of 20 where it's video game adaptations. Heroes 3 is a really, a really great game. From about the early 2000s, no, I think it was, I got it in the early 2000s, but I think it was about 99, 2000 that came out. And I really loved it. The tactics, the building up of your empire, the purchasing of your minions, and going around collecting treasure chests, collecting the artifacts and things like that, trying to make your heroes better, transferring them around a map. And I do wonder, and the other dream thing is that Archon's doing it, and I wish I could get their Masters of the Universe game in Australia, but I can't for some reason. But I really appreciate that they're doing this one because I've heard that their minis are really good, and I've heard that their games can be quite good. So we'll see how we go. I'm going in expecting that this won't be as good as the video game. I think that's what you got to do. You got to have that mindset of, no, if you really love a video game and you see it as a board game come in, I'm going to go in thinking, okay, the video game's probably still going to be better, but I'll get to play with these. I get to see it in person, in plastic or in whatever, and it would just be great. So I'm taking it as that. It's meant to be solvable. There's meant to be solo quests coming out with it. All the factions except for Inferno, I think. And they even left room for you to be able to make your own quest, which I'm really looking forward to. Once I get through this, if I still love this game, getting through all the solo campaigns, for sure I'll give those designs a go of creating my own quests. It'll be great. It's got that same sort of syntax of the video game. So yeah, it's like overland exploration. You got your own castle you have to look after, build up your town. It's got all the factions except for Stronghold, I think, and Conflux. I think even they were contemplating the Cove. And I know there's now the Factory faction on the Horn of the Abyss mod for those that are. Geez, I'm probably talking way too much for some people here, but for those that are real Heroes 3 people, Horn of the Abyss mod, I think they've contemplated that in the background, but it won't be in this set. I think they do plan to do more in the future, depending how this goes, how this plays. But essentially, you got these minions. You got combat. So you run around the overland, and when you run into a hero or another NPC group, that you encounter a combat. So you walk around. There'll be like certain combats somewhere in here. So imagine there must be a symbol for combats on certain things. It doesn't say here. It says like gold golems here. So when you run into them, then this is your town that you get to build up. You purchase things. And you flip cards over when your towns are done to be able to buy certain minions. Your group. You can even level up your hero, like in the actual game. Level up your hero, give yourself logistics, give yourself new spells. So I look forward to how that really works properly. It's kind of like drawing when you come to combat, you draw your hand, and this is what you can do. So it's a bit different to the video game in that way. It's not going to be exactly the same. It's going to be like probably like a toned down version of the video game. But for those that love minis, there's definitely minis in this game. There's the small combat version. They've also created an expansion with Job of God, but I don't think you can play it in solo mode, unfortunately. But I'll see what happens. I'll still be happy to have this as a nostalgia. But this is the combat board in the base game, but you can get the full hex-based combat board as an expansion. But I think it's only in player versus player mode. And yeah, you play these cards. You have the stats on the side for each enemy. As you move around, it's like sort of tactile based. Think like Too Many Bones in a way. How this plays that you move around and try to attack creatures. But I imagine you attack once you're next to them, you just use their base attack unless you've got cards that manipulate the game. I guess you've got like defense and attack cards. You also got spell cards that can manipulate the combat. I've heard good things coming out of cons as well about this game. You can play many factions. There's heaps of minis with it, heaps of add-ons. I went almost all in, I think. Definitely gameplay all in. I think I might have just not got the art book and a couple other things, got the big box and stuff. There's Sandro, one of my favorites from Necropolis. In the video game, I wonder how good he is in this. Does he turn everyone into a skeleton? Who knows? But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Heaps of different expansions. It was quite expensive. Again, shipping was really dear for me in this one. Yeah, there it is. That's the actual combat board. So I think that's an expansion that you can get, which I have. I'm not sure if you can play it solo as just a mini warning. I think last I heard that's not going to be available in the solo quests and stuff like that. But yeah, really cool. Anyway, there's so much to scroll through there. Whoa. I'm not sure if many people have done. That's the thing with Archon. I don't think they get too many people doing it. Quackalope, I mean, I'm going to get in trouble for this, but I'm not a big fan of this. He seemed like he hadn't played the video game. But you know, like the same as me, I haven't played the video game for Dead Cells, and some people will be probably having a go at me saying, "Oh, how can you talk about this game when you haven't played the video game?" Which, you know, I'm just giving a quick overview of games here. Yeah, I look forward to it. I've got much more to say. I'm just thinking of the video game in my head now. But this board game, hopefully, it's great, and I'll stop it there. For those that have made it this far, thank you so much. I am a channel. I am a channel. I'm a person that's running this channel on my own from home and trying to grow this channel. I don't get, you know, I buy these games myself. I probably shouldn't. People say, you know, are you rich or something? Which I respond to, no, I'm just irresponsible, like that meme with Leonardo DiCaprio in it. I have backed less this last year. I think my backing was about 20 something. There's a few games I only cold of it, and there's a few retail games I look forward to, but this is just crowdfunding only. But anyway, if you wish to support me, please subscribe, please like the video. Give me some comments about your top anticipated games for the year. Or maybe I missed a few that I should talk about. There are some others that I obviously didn't, you know, if there's a few clear ones that you look here and go, where is this? Either one, it's probably, I just thought it's definitely not coming this year. This is what I'm anticipating to deliver this year. And secondly, maybe I didn't back it. And there's probably reasons why I didn't back things. But for you, please tell me. I'm looking forward to what common things come up. And if there's things I've missed, for sure, I might do a future video and talk about them. But if you like this video, guys, if you want to see more videos like this, please let me know. A lot of people like my top 10. What do I do? My top 10 of 2023. I'm doing this one. I plan to do a top 20 for me of all time to now. I'll get that. That's probably my next video I'll get done. And if you like this format, I've tried to fix up the format. I'm doing it through Zoom, things like that. So if you like this format, let me know. If you feel like it's not working too well, I'll go back to my old format. But yeah, I should stop talking because this is probably going on for a long time. So there you have it, Soloists. My top 20 anticipated games, hopefully delivering in 2024, especially for me in Australia. Some things take a long time. The rest of you guys, enjoy your games, and to crush your gaming thirst, remember to play solo. Till next time.